Hello, besties. My people say that he who teaches others how to dance should first learn how to move his own legs. Today's story is about a man with a loud opinion and an old school pride. One of those uncles that believes shouting is leadership and stubbornness is tradition. He loved to dish out marital advice and call it culture as if he invented marriage himself. But the truth, while he was busy advising others, his own house was quietly on fire. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and let's enjoy this one together. It was a lazy Sunday afternoon in Port Harcourt. The ceiling fan was humming softly, still smell drifting from the kitchen. Tega sat in the living room scrolling through football updates on his phone while his wife, Nene, dished out lunch. She came out smiling, balancing a tray like a waitress from heaven. Chief husband, come and eat oh, before Arsenal loses again and you blame it on hunger. He laughed. You this woman, always insulting my club. Nene set the tray down, steaming rice and stew, fried plantain and grilled chicken. Then she wiped her hands on the apron. I'll be going out in a bit, she said. Tega raised a brow. Out where? Chioma's birthday party. We talked about it on Saturday. Ah, yes, Chioma. Is the party today? Yes, it's today, she said, already reaching for his car keys on the TV stand. Can I use your car, please? My fuel light came on this morning. Tega smiled. No wahala. Just don't scratch my baby. She blew him a kiss. I'll be back before 6. Oh, and please, when the kids wake up, just microwave the stew for them and make more rice. It's already washed inside the pot. Helga nodded. No problem, ma. Before she could finish, a loud knock landed on the gate. Who is that again? She muttered. Helga got up lazily. I'll check. When he opened the door, his eyes widened. Uncle Nduka. The old man stood there like a storm cloud. Tega, he exclaimed, smiling widely. My son, I was in the neighborhood and said, let me check on my brother's boy. Tega smiled polite. You're welcome, sir. Please, come in. By then, Nene had come out. Good afternoon, uncle. You're welcome. Uncle Ndeka looked at her from head to toe, his expression softening. Ah, beautiful wife. Well done, my daughter. Thank you, sir, she said, picking her purse. I was just about to step out, but please make yourself comfortable. Let me serve you something to drink. Before Tega could say anything, she dashed to the kitchen, poured a glass of juice, and brought it out with ice cubes clinking inside. Ah, you're too kind, Uncle Nduka said, settling into the chair. She smiled sweetly. Tega, please make sure Uncle is too. There is rice in the kitchen. Tega nodded. All right. Okay, bye, Uncle, she said cheerfully, taking the keys from her husband. Don't forget to microwave the kids' food later, please. And the protein, it's in the freezer upstairs. She turned to go, adjusting her earrings. You're the best. The words hit Uncle Nduka's ears like thunder. He froze, cup in hand. What did she just say? Tega, unaware of the storm forming beside him, replied casually, it's nothing much, sir. She just said I should microwave the food later when the kids wake up. The old man's eye widened. Microwave food? You? Yes, sir. You mean your wife gives you instructions in your own house? Tega laughed, thinking it was a joke. Uncle, it's not like that now. We share chores in this house. Share what? The volume shook the table before Tega could explain. Uncle Nduka dropped his juice and stood up. Tega, my son, I fear for your future. I fear for your lineage. He began pacing the living room, pointing his walking stick for emphasis. In our time, a man was the head. Not this democracy you people are practicing today. Is that marriage? Tega chuckled softly. Uncle, is partnership, not democracy. Don't correct me, he barked. You've always allowed your wife to be giving you assignments. Today is microwave. Tomorrow it will be mop the floor. Next tomorrow now, she will ask you to lick her feet. What is going on with you people? Tega tried to hide his amusement. Uncle, it's not a trap, oh, not that deep. The man's voice rose again. My wife cannot even raise her voice in my presence. 30 years of marriage, oh. She kneels every morning to greet me. I sit and she stands. This is how we keep the home. Nene's laughter would have filled their silence if she had been there. Instead, it was just Tega, watching the drama unfold like a spectator. Uncle shook his head in disgust. The problem with this generation is that you mistake stupidity for love. How can a grown-up man be seen in the kitchen? What is he doing there? You go around calling it equality. How can you be washing plates when you should be leading your home? Tega? Uncle, I'm leading my home with wisdom. But the old man wasn't done. Wisdom? What is wise about giving your kids food while your wife goes around gallivanting? A man must be feared, not pitied. The Bible says women must submit. Yes, Tega said calmly. It also said that husbands must love their wives. We are now arguing scriptures, Abi? Me? He grabbed his cap from the table and adjusted his abada, as if offended by him. Continue, my son. Just continue. Continue washing plates and microwaving food for your wife. When your wife finishes controlling you, she will start controlling your extended family. Tega smiled faintly. If peace is control, please let it continue. Uncle Nduka hissed. Your father will be turning in his grave. Hi! I'm ashamed! He stormed out, banging the door like a closing sermon. For a few seconds, silence filled the house. Then, Tega chuckled softly. He shook his head. Microwave don't cause family meeting. When Nene returned hours later, she found her husband sitting on the couch, scrolling through his phone with a mischievous grin. What's with that face? She asked, dropping her bags. He laughed. Your favorite man of tradition nearly fainted here. Please, next time don't tell me to microwave anything while he's around. I almost caused a cultural crisis. Seriously. Nene burst out laughing. Uncle Nduka, she said, shaking her head. Uncle Nduka and his 1955 principles. I wonder when he will realize the world have changed. That night after dinner, Tega and Nene were lying in bed scrolling through their phones. Nene turned to him with a sly smile. Wife, please turn off the lights before you sleep. Tega looked up. Sorry, did you just call me wife? Yes, so she said, keeping a straight face. After all, Uncle Nduka said I'm the head of this house now. Tega burst out laughing. I see. So I'm the one submitting to you now, Abi? She nodded dramatically. Of course, my dear. Don't forget to wash my office clothes tomorrow. He clutched his chest like a Nollywood actor. It has happened, oh, my uncle's prophecy. They both laughed until tears rolled down their cheeks. It was a kind of laughter that ends a tense day, soft, silly, and hearing. A few months later, Tega's mother called from Benin. She asked in her usual soft voice, Tega, when last did you hear from your uncle Nduka? He was in my house 2 weeks ago, Mama, Tega admitted. I've been trying to reach him on the phone for days now, but no success. I need you to help me. I'll be sending you something through Korea. There are documents I need him to sign. Please help me give them to him once I send it. All right, Mama. That weekend, Faith played his hand. Nene had a small women's event in the same neighborhood where Uncle Nduka lived. Since we'll be around that side, she said, why don't you use the opportunity to give him the documents? Tega hesitated. Hey, that man again, me and you. Don't worry, she said with a smile. You just tell him I have somewhere I want to go. You drop me off at the event. Then you come and pick up the document whenever he's done. We'll be in and out before he starts another sermon. If only they knew, the real sermon was waiting inside Uncle Nduka's own house. That Saturday morning arrived, bright and restless. Nene looked gorgeous in her sky blue lace, the kind of outfit that made her look both holy and expensive. She paused in front of the mirror and turned to Tega. Be honest, does this look too serious for a women's event? Tega smiled. No, you look like the keynote speaker. Just don't go and start preaching about feminism there. She laughed. You mean like your uncle? Abeg, he said, waving his hand. Let's not start that man's topic today oh. I'm only seeing him because of Mama's document. I'll drop you first. Stop by his place, deliver the papers and disappear before sermon part 2 begins. That's a perfect plan, Nene said. But please, can you record him if he starts again? I need more comedy in my life. They both laughed as the car rolled out of their compound. By noon, they were driving through Uncle Nduka's neighborhood, a quiet part of the old city where the houses looked tired, like elders refusing to retire. Nene leaned towards the window. This place is really old. But before they could joke further, they began to hear shouting. Not the regular neighbor gist kind of shouting, but real commotion. A woman's voice tore through the air. Try me again today, Nduka. I will show you who owns this house. Then came the crash of a metal basin. Tega slammed the brakes and stared at Nene. Did you just hear my uncle's name? Nene covered her mouth. Is that his wife? That's his wife oh. Wait, is that their compound? The shouting grew louder. Another voice, shaky and defensive, answered from inside. Please my dear, let's talk like adults now. Jesu, Tega whispered. That's him oh, that's Uncle Nduka. They both exchanged looks of disbelief. Then, before they could process what was happening, a small crowd of amused neighbors began gathering by the gate. One of them, a woman with a scarf tied aggressively high, looked at Tego and said, Ah, I know you now. Are you not his nephew? Go and separate them oh, before she finishes him today. That man has suffered. The woman beats him almost every other day. Tega forced a smile. Thank you, ma. You better hurry oh, she added, shaking her head. If she breaks his head again, nobody know how long he will take in the hospital oh. Nene whispered. Again? You mean this is normal here? Ah, the woman nodded knowingly. Yes now. This is not their first time oh. Tega pushed the creaky gate open. The compound looked like a movie set after filming. One slipper near the wall, a half-filled bucket on his side, a chair knocked over. Inside the house came another thud and the muffled shout of a woman mid-argument. Tega took a deep breath. Let's just go in quietly, drop the papers and leave. They stepped through the doorway and froze. There, crouched behind the dining table like a guilty child, was Uncle Nduka. Bare chest, gleaming with sweat, wrapper barely tied, eyes darting toward the corridor. Please, Ngozi, he whispered, voice trembling. Calm down, please. People are hearing us. But the people had already heard. From the corridor emerged a small but fierce woman in a flowered house dress, face flushed, broom in hand. You think I care who is hearing? She barked. Let them hear how the mighty talk when nobody is kneeling for them. He straightened quickly when he saw Tega and Nene at the door. Ah, Tega, my son. His voice cracked halfway. What a surprise. Ngozi squinted at them. Visitors? Again? And you didn't even tell me? Mama sent me some documents, Tega stammered. She said you should sign them. The woman folded her arms. Tell your mother to wait. Her brother-in-law is learning manners first. Uncle Nduka's eyes widened. Ngozi, please. She raised the broom slightly. He went silent immediately. Turning to Tega, she said, my son, your uncle likes to disgrace himself outside, always claiming to be the custodian of masculine authority. Nene coughed into her hand, tried not to laugh. Uncle Nduka pointed at her weakly. You're laughing, my wife. A sharp bang from the broom hitting the floor silenced him. One more word, Nduka, and I will make you mop that mouth. He sat down immediately, lips sealed. Tega and Nene stood frozen, unsure whether to intervene or run. The room smelled of tension. After a long pause, Ngozi turned, composure restored. She smiled warmly at Nene. My daughter, forgive this sin. You know, marriage. We just had a small misunderstanding. Nene forced a polite smile. No problem, ma. Please, sit down. Ngozi continued. Nduka, bring seats for our visitors. He hesitated. She lifted one eyebrow. Yes, yes, dear, he said quickly, rushing to pull two plastic chairs from the corner. Nene's lips trembled. Tega pinched her thigh lightly to stop her from laughing. When they sat, Uncle tried to recover dignity. So how is your mother? She's fine, sir, Tega said. She just asked me to give you these papers. He handed the envelope over. Ngozi snatched it first. What is inside? They are just property documents, nothing much. She said she needs him to sign it. Ngozi hissed softly. Property. This one that cannot even manage anything. He wants to sign papers. Uncle Nduka whispered, Ngozi, please now. Quiet! She snapped. Tega, my son. Do you know your uncle once told the pastor that I'm too loud? Me. After 30 years of marriage, cooking and suffering for this useless man. Since that day, I promised him anytime he raises his voice at me, I will raise something heavier. Uncle covered his face. Ngozi, stop this thing. You're embarrassing me. Nene's body shook from silent laughter. Uncle looked at her desperately. My daughter, don't mind how. You know how women can overreact. Overreact, Ngozi backed. You better not say that again. He froze. No, now. I just mean you people just know how to express your passion very strongly. That's better, she said, lowering the broom. He exhaled like a man who just survived surgery. Tega cleared his throat. Uncle, maybe you should just sign this so we can go. That's true. Give me pen, he said quickly. Before he could sign, Ngozi called from the kitchen. I'm going out though. Remember to wash those plates I used this morning. He froze mid-signature. Ngozi, we have guests. And so, you still wash them? Nene's eyes widened in disbelief. Tega's shoulder started shaking again. I will do that. Let me just finish signing these things. I said go and wash them now, she said firmly. He sighed, signed the papers hastily and stood. Tega, please thank your mother for me. Let me just... Ngozi's voice followed him towards the kitchen. Make sure you wash that plate very well, oh. Not that nonsense you did yesterday. Yes, dear, he replied meekly. Tega and Nene sat frozen for a few seconds. Then Nene whispered, let's go before we explode. They stood, murmured quick goodbyes and slipped out past the watching neighbors. They hurried to the car, both trying to hold in the laughter until they reached the street. The moment the car door shut, they exploded. Tega! Nene screamed between laughs. Is that the same man that said you're not man enough? His wife just gave him assignment to wash plates. Tega was laughing so hard, his stomach hurt and he said, yes, dear, oh, Nene, my chest, I can't breathe. Nene wiped her eyes. You see life. The same mouth that was mocking you. Now, look at him. So quiet like a generator that does not have fuel. Tega smiled, shaking his head. God really has a sense of humor. As they drove off, Nene sighed dramatically. At least now we know. He wasn't lying when he said he leads his home. He just forgot to mention where he was leading from. They both laughed again, the sound echoing down the road. Two witnesses to the greatest marital irony they'd ever seen. Because sometimes life doesn't need thunder to teach humility. The drive back home was one long replay of laughter and disbelief. Every few minutes, Nene would burst out giggling again and shake her head. Tega, I still can't believe what I saw today. The way your uncle sat down when the woman raised her broom. Hey, you would think he was in primary school. Tega laughed till his stomach ached. Nene, my uncle is humble. Oh. I've seen humility before. But this one, hey, this one is graduate level humility. They stopped at a fuel station and even while waiting in line, they continued smiling and giggling. Tega mimicked his uncle's trembling voice. Ngozi, please calm down. Let's talk like adults. Nene screamed, hitting the dashboard. Stop! You kill me with laughter. By the time they got home, their cheeks hot. They dropped their things and collapsed on the couch, still replaying every scene like two people who had just watched a stage play. Can you imagine? Nene said finally. This same man na still in our house shouting about respect and culture. His wife calls him Nduka, go and wash plate, and he said yes dear. Tega grinned. My lineage has been restored. I'm no longer the disgrace of the family. Nene laughed louder. You should call him and say, Uncle, I've learned from you. From now onward, when Nene talks, I'll just say, yes, ma. Abeg leave that matter, Tega said, shaking his head. That man can never show face in my house again. For a while, he just sat there quietly, the laughter fading into soft smiles. Then Nene said something that made both of them pause. You know what's funny? She said softly. People like Uncle, they give advice with loud voices, but live with quiet shame. Tega turned to her. That's true. They want others to think they figured life out, she continued. But deep down, they are drowning in the very things they pretend to control. He nodded slowly. It's easy to teach what you don't practice. He stood in our house and called you weak. But today, look at him. He really looked like someone that needed strength. Nene smiled faintly. Exactly. Sometimes the ones telling others how to run a home are the ones losing theirs quietly. Tega leaned back, exhaling deeply. You're right, my dear. That's why I will never take advice from anyone again. I'll watch action, not words. She chuckled. I like that, oh. Not words, but actions. They both went silent for a moment, reflecting. The room felt peaceful, the kind of peace that comes from understanding something life just explained in plain language. Then, of course, Nene couldn't resist one last jab. She nudged him playfully. Wife, please stand up and help me plug my phone. He turned to her with mock seriousness. Ah, my husband, should I also bring you juice? They both exploded with laughter again, rolling on the couch until tears streamed down their faces. When the laughter finally subsided, Nene rested her head on his shoulder and whispered, you know, real love is when both people know when to lead and when to laugh. Tega smiled and went to microwave stew. She giggled. Exactly. He kissed her forehead lightly. To peace, my dear. Always. She raised her imaginary glass. To peace and to humble goats everywhere. They laughed again, their voices filling the room, blending with the soft hum of the evening fan. The end. Thank you so much for watching this story to the end. Besties, you see this life? Sometimes the loudest advisors are the ones fighting silent battles in their own homes. Uncle Nduka shouted about culture and respect, yet he was the one begging for peace inside his own house. So before you let anybody define what your marriage, friendship, or life should look like, ask yourself, are they even living what they preach? Real love isn't about who gives others, it's about who gives efforts. Respect isn't forced with shouting, it is earned. If this story made you laugh, that's good. But if you learned something from it, that's even better. Because sometimes the ones giving the loudest advice are the ones who need it the most. Don't forget to subscribe to this our channel and drop a comment about what exactly you learned from this story. Till next time, besties. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next story. Bye.